Family gets puppy for their paralyzed baby, but what it does next will leave doctors speechless. The rocking chair creaked rhythmically, a lonely counterpoint to the ticking clock on the wall. Sarah Miller swayed gently, her arms cradling her 6-month-old son, Ethan. His tiny body, swaddled in a soft blue blanket, lay motionless against her chest, his eyes closed, his breathing shallow. Sunlight streamed through the nursery window, painting the room in a soft, golden glow. Toys lay scattered on the plush carpet, a colorful testament to a childhood that seemed to hang in suspended animation. A mobile, adorned with cheerful animals, hung silently above the crib, its stillness a stark contrast to the whirlwind of emotions that raged within Sarah's heart. Ethan, her precious son, her miracle baby, had been paralyzed in a tragic car accident 3 months ago. The injuries, though not life-threatening, had robbed him of his mobility, his once active limbs now still and unresponsive. Sarah's world had shrunk to the confines of this nursery, her days a monotonous cycle of feeding, changing, and comforting her silent son. The joy that had once filled her life, the anticipation of motherhood, the dreams of watching Ethan crawl, walk, and explore the world had been replaced by a numbing grief, a constant ache in her heart. She traced a finger along Ethan's delicate cheek, his soft skin a reminder of the fragility of life, the cruel twist of fate that had shattered their world. Tears welled up in her eyes, blurring her vision, her silent sobs echoing the unspoken pain that consumed her. Downstairs, she could hear the muffled sounds of her husband, Mark, pacing restlessly. Mark, a man of action, a builder by trade, was now a prisoner of his own guilt and despair. He had been driving the car that fateful day, his momentary lapse of concentration resulting in the accident that had changed their lives forever. He blamed himself, his strong shoulders now slumped with the weight of his remorse, his once jovial laughter replaced by a brooding silence. He spent his days working tirelessly on their unfinished backyard project, a desperate attempt to channel his grief into something tangible, a futile effort to rebuild a life that had been shattered beyond repair. Their only solace was Buddy, their elderly golden retriever. Buddy, with his gentle eyes and comforting presence, had become a silent guardian, his furry form a constant fixture by Ethan's crib, his soft snores a reassuring counterpoint to the silence that had enveloped their home. Buddy, sensing Sarah's sadness, would often nudge her hand with his wet nose, his mournful eyes reflecting her pain. He would lie beside Ethan's crib for hours, his presence a silent vigil, his unconditional love a beacon of hope in the darkness that had descended upon their family. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the Millers struggled to navigate their new reality. The silence that had once been filled with Ethan's gurgles and coos now echoed with unspoken grief, their dreams and aspirations replaced by a numbing sense of loss and uncertainty. And yet, amidst the despair, a flicker of hope remained, a faint ember refusing to be extinguished. They clung to the love they shared, the unwavering support of their faithful companion, and the faint glimmer of a miracle that might one day break the silence and bring light back into their lives. The idea came to Sarah in the quiet hours of the night, a whisper of possibility amidst the darkness of her despair. She lay awake, her mind racing with thoughts of Ethan, his silent stillness a constant ache in her heart. She longed for a spark of joy, a distraction from the overwhelming grief that had consumed their lives. She thought of Buddy, their faithful golden retriever, his gentle presence a source of comfort in their troubled home. She remembered the joy Ethan had shown in the brief weeks before the accident, his eyes lighting up at the sight of Buddy's wagging tail, his tiny hands reaching out to touch his soft fur. A thought took root in her mind, a seed of hope blossoming in the barren landscape of her grief. Perhaps a puppy, a playful and energetic companion, could bring some light back into their lives, a distraction from the constant reminder of Ethan's limitations. She shared the idea with Mark the next morning, her voice hesitant, her eyes searching his for a glimmer of agreement. Mark, his face etched with weariness, listened intently, his initial skepticism giving way to a flicker of hope. "A puppy?" he repeated, his voice rough with disuse. "You think it would help?" "It might," Sarah replied, her voice filled with a tentative optimism. "It might bring some joy back into this house. It might give Ethan something to focus on, something to smile about." Mark nodded slowly, his eyes reflecting the shared yearning for a spark of hope in their darkened world. "It's worth a try," he agreed, his voice carrying a hint of determination. They visited the local animal shelter that afternoon, their hearts heavy with the weight of their unspoken grief, their eyes searching for a glimmer of light amidst the cages of abandoned animals. They walked past rows of cats, their playful antics failing to elicit a smile, their meows echoing the emptiness within their own hearts. And then they saw her, a Labrador retriever puppy, her fur a rich golden brown, her eyes sparkling with mischief and an irrepressible zest for life. She bounded towards them, her tail wagging furiously, her playful barks filling the sterile environment with a much-needed dose of joy. Sarah knelt beside the puppy's enclosure, her hand reaching through the bars to stroke her soft fur. The puppy responded with enthusiastic licks and playful nips, her energy infectious, her enthusiasm a stark contrast to the somber atmosphere that had enveloped their lives. Mark, watching Sarah interact with the puppy, felt a smile tug at the corners of his lips, a genuine smile he hadn't experienced in months. He saw the spark of joy in Sarah's eyes, a flicker of hope rekindled in her weary face. "She's perfect," Sarah whispered, her voice filled with a newfound excitement. They named her Hope, a symbol of their yearning for a brighter future, a beacon of light in the darkness that had consumed their lives. They brought her home, her playful energy transforming their quiet house into a haven of joyful chaos. Hope bounded through the rooms, her tail wagging, her barks echoing through the once silent hallways. She explored every corner, her curiosity insatiable, her enthusiasm a welcome distraction from the somber atmosphere that had lingered for months. She greeted Buddy with playful nips and excited barks, her youthful energy reawakening his playful spirit. They chased each other through the house, their joyful antics filling the air with a much-needed dose of laughter. And then Hope met Ethan. She approached his crib cautiously, her tail wagging tentatively, her eyes filled with a gentle curiosity. She sniffed at his tiny hand, her warm breath tickling his delicate skin. Ethan, his eyes fluttering open, met her gaze, a flicker of recognition in his deep blue eyes. A small smile, a fleeting expression of joy, touched his lips. Sarah and Mark, witnessing this interaction, felt their hearts swell with a mix of hope and disbelief. Could this playful puppy, this unexpected addition to their family, be the spark that rekindled the light in their lives, the catalyst for a miracle they had almost given up on? Hope's arrival breathed new life into the Miller household. The once quiet rooms now echoed with the joyful sounds of playful barks and the patter of tiny paws. The somber atmosphere that had lingered for months began to dissipate, replaced by a tentative sense of hope and a renewed appreciation for the simple joys of life. Hope, with her boundless energy and infectious enthusiasm, became a whirlwind of activity, her presence a constant source of amusement and distraction. She chased her tail with reckless abandon, pounced on imaginary foes, and greeted every visitor with enthusiastic barks and playful nips. Buddy, initially wary of this energetic newcomer, soon succumbed to her charms. He joined her in her playful antics, their games of chase and tug-of-war filling the house with a symphony of joyful barks and happy growls. Sarah and Mark, their hearts warmed by this unexpected burst of energy, found themselves smiling more often, their laughter echoing through the house, a welcome contrast to the silence that had become their constant companion. Hope, with her innate sensitivity, seemed to understand the fragility of their happiness. She would often sit quietly by Sarah's side, her head resting on her lap, her soft brown eyes offering silent comfort and understanding. She would sneak into Ethan's nursery, her movements gentle and cautious, her presence a calming influence on the silent baby. She would lie beside his crib, her soft snores a reassuring counterpoint to the rhythmic beeping of the monitoring machines. She would nudge Ethan's tiny hand with her wet nose, her gentle touch eliciting a small smile from the baby's lips. She would lick his cheeks, her warm tongue a source of comfort and affection. And as the days turned into weeks, Hope's presence became an integral part of their lives, her playful energy a beacon of light in their darkened world, her unconditional love a reminder of the enduring power of hope and the resilience of the human spirit. One afternoon, as Sarah sat by Ethan's crib, her heart heavy with the familiar ache of grief, she witnessed a sight that sent a shiver of disbelief down her spine. Hope, her playful instincts taking over, had climbed into the crib, her small body nestled beside Ethan's motionless form. She was licking Ethan's face, her tongue gently stroking his cheeks, her tail wagging softly. And then, as Sarah watched in stunned silence, Ethan's tiny hand twitched, his fingers curling slightly, a movement he hadn't been able to make since the accident. Sarah's breath caught in her throat, her eyes widening with a mix of disbelief and hope. Could this be real? Could Hope's playful affection be awakening something within Ethan? A spark of life rekindled in his paralyzed limbs? She reached out, her trembling hand gently touching Ethan's fingers, her voice a soft whisper. "Ethan?" Ethan's eyes fluttered open, his gaze meeting hers with a flicker of recognition. His tiny hand, as if responding to her touch, curled again, his fingers grasping her hand with a surprising strength. Tears welled up in Sarah's eyes, her heart overflowing with a mix of joy and disbelief. She hugged Ethan tightly, her sobs echoing through the quiet nursery, her tears a testament to the rekindled hope that had blossomed in her heart. She looked at Hope, her eyes filled with gratitude and wonder. This playful puppy, this unexpected addition to their family, had brought a spark of light back into their lives, a glimmer of hope that had defied the darkness of their despair. She knew this was just the beginning, the first step in a long and uncertain journey. But in that moment, as she held her son close, his tiny hand grasping hers, she felt a surge of optimism, a belief that perhaps, just perhaps, a miracle was unfolding before her eyes, a miracle sparked by the unconditional love of a playful puppy named Hope. The small twitch of Ethan's fingers, a fleeting movement witnessed only by Sarah and Hope, became a beacon of hope in the Miller household. Sarah, her heart filled with a cautious optimism, watched Ethan with renewed intensity, her eyes searching for any sign of further progress, her senses attuned to the slightest change in his stillness. She encouraged Hope's interactions with Ethan, placing the puppy in his crib during his naps, her playful presence a constant source of stimulation. Hope, with her innate sensitivity, seemed to understand her role. Her playful nudges and gentle licks focused on Ethan's immobile limbs. She would nuzzle his tiny hands, her warm breath tickling his delicate skin. She would lick his feet, her rough tongue eliciting a giggle from Ethan's lips. She would playfully tug at his blanket, her insistent tugs prompting Ethan to wriggle his toes, a movement that had been absent since the accident. Sarah, her heart swelling with each small movement, documented these moments in a journal, her entries a testament to the growing hope that blossomed within her. She shared her observations with Mark, his initial skepticism giving way to a cautious optimism, his eyes reflecting the shared yearning for a miracle. They consulted with Ethan's doctors, their voices filled with a mix of excitement and apprehension. The doctors, though intrigued by these subtle changes, remained cautious, their medical training reminding them of the complexities of spinal cord injuries, the unpredictable nature of recovery. They ordered a new round of tests, their scans and examinations searching for any physiological explanation for Ethan's newfound movements. But the results remained inconclusive, the mystery of his progress deepening, the possibility of a miracle hanging in the air like a fragile whisper. The Millers, caught between the cautious optimism of the doctors and the undeniable evidence of their own eyes, clung to the hope that Hope's presence was sparking a change within Ethan, a reawakening of his paralyzed limbs. They continued to encourage Hope's interactions with Ethan, their home now a playground of playful barks and joyful giggles. Hope, their furry guardian angel, became an integral part of their lives, her unconditional love and playful spirit a beacon of light in their once darkened world. And as the weeks passed, the small movements became more frequent, more pronounced. Ethan's fingers curled with greater strength. His toes wiggled with increasing regularity. His legs twitched with a newfound life. The whispers of change, once faint and tentative, grew louder, echoing through the Miller household, carrying with them a renewed sense of hope, a belief that perhaps, just perhaps, a miracle was unfolding before their eyes, a miracle sparked by the unconditional love of a playful puppy named Hope. Hope, oblivious to the profound impact she was having on Ethan's life, continued her playful ministrations with unwavering enthusiasm. Her days were a whirlwind of activity, her puppy energy finding an outlet in chasing squirrels in the backyard, playing tug-of-war with Buddy, and showering the Millers with affectionate licks and playful nips. But her favorite pastime was spending time with Ethan. She would sneak into his nursery whenever she could, her tail wagging excitedly as she approached his crib. She would climb onto the soft mattress, her small body nestling beside Ethan's, her warmth and gentle presence a source of comfort and joy. She would lick his face, her rough tongue eliciting giggles and gurgles from the baby. She would playfully tug at his blankets, her insistent tugs prompting Ethan to kick his legs, movements that had become increasingly frequent and purposeful. She would nudge his tiny hands with her nose, her gentle encouragement seemingly stimulating his fingers to curl and grasp. She would roll on her back, inviting him to join her playful antics, her wagging tail a beacon of encouragement. And as the weeks passed, Ethan's responses grew stronger, his movements more deliberate. He would reach for Hope's soft fur, his fingers grasping with a newfound strength. He would kick his legs with increasing vigor, his playful kicks sending Hope into a frenzy of excited barks and tail wags. He would roll onto his side, his movements clumsy but determined, his efforts rewarded by Hope's enthusiastic licks and playful nudges. He would even attempt to crawl, his tiny arms and legs propelling him forward in a jerky, uncoordinated motion. His efforts met with Hope's encouraging barks and playful nips. Sarah and Mark, their hearts filled with a cautious optimism, continued to document these moments, their journal entries a testament to the growing hope that Hope's presence was sparking a change within Ethan, a reawakening of his paralyzed limbs. They remained cautious, their medical knowledge reminding them of the complexities of spinal cord injuries, the unpredictable nature of recovery. But they couldn't deny the evidence of their own eyes, the undeniable progress that Ethan was making, the spark of life that Hope had ignited within him. They continued to encourage Hope's interactions with Ethan, their home now a haven of playful barks, joyful giggles, and the quiet hum of hope that resonated through their lives. They watched as their son, once confined to a silent stillness, began to explore his world anew, his movements clumsy but determined, his progress a testament to the enduring power of love, the resilience of the human spirit, and the extraordinary bond between a boy and his dog. The world, seen through Hope's eyes, was a kaleidoscope of scents, sounds, and textures, a playground of endless exploration and joyful discoveries. She bounded through life with an insatiable curiosity, her puppy energy propelling her on countless adventures. She chased squirrels with reckless abandon, their frantic dashes through the trees a thrilling challenge to her agility. She wrestled with Buddy, their playful battles a test of strength and cunning. She greeted every visitor with enthusiastic barks and playful nips, her tail wagging with an infectious joy. But her favorite companion was Ethan. She was drawn to his gentle presence, his quiet stillness a stark contrast to the bustling world around him. She sensed his vulnerability, his dependence on others, and her heart filled with a protective instinct, a desire to nurture and care for him. She would spend hours by his side, her warm body nestled against his, her soft fur brushing against his delicate skin. She would lick his face, her rough tongue a source of comfort and affection. She would playfully tug at his blankets, her insistent tugs eliciting a giggle from his lips. She sensed his frustration, the limitations imposed by his immobile limbs, the yearning to explore the world that lay just beyond his reach. And with an intuitive understanding that transcended her puppy mind, she sought to help him, to encourage him, to awaken the dormant spark within him. She would nudge his tiny hands with her nose, her gentle touch a subtle invitation to grasp and explore. She would lick his feet, her rough tongue stimulating his toes to wiggle and curl. She would playfully nip at his legs, her insistent nips prompting him to kick and stretch. She would roll on her back, inviting him to join her playful antics, her wagging tail a beacon of encouragement. She would bark excitedly, her joyful sounds a symphony of motivation, her enthusiasm a contagious force that seemed to ignite a spark within Ethan's soul. And as the weeks passed, she witnessed the fruits of her labor, the subtle changes in Ethan's movements, the growing strength in his limbs, the spark of determination in his eyes. She felt a sense of purpose, a fulfillment that transcended her playful instincts, a bond with this vulnerable boy that deepened with each passing day. She was more than just a puppy, more than just a pet. She was a healer, a therapist, a furry guardian angel with an intuitive understanding of Ethan's needs, an unwavering determination to help him overcome his challenges, a love that knew no bounds. And as Ethan's progress continued, his movements growing stronger, his laughter filling the house with a newfound joy, Hope basked in the warmth of their shared bond, her heart filled with a love that transcended the boundaries of species, a love that had the power to heal, to inspire, and to transform their lives in ways they could never have imagined. The evening unfolded like any other in the Miller household. Dinner had been a quiet affair, the lingering sadness of Ethan's condition casting a shadow over their meal. Mark, his guilt a constant companion, ate in silence, his gaze fixed on his plate, his thoughts a whirlwind of what-ifs and regrets. Sarah, her heart heavy with a mix of hope and despair, tried to maintain a cheerful facade, her forced smiles a thin veil over the worry that gnawed at her. She fed Ethan his pureed vegetables, his tiny mouth opening and closing with a mechanical rhythm, his eyes reflecting the blankness of his immobile world. After dinner, Sarah carried Ethan upstairs for his bath, the familiar routine a comforting ritual amidst the uncertainty of their lives. She gently undressed him, his limp limbs a stark reminder of the accident that had shattered their world. She placed him in the warm water, his body floating weightlessly, his eyes closed, his expression peaceful. She washed his delicate skin, her touch gentle, her heart aching for the life that had been stolen from him. As she dried him and dressed him in his pajamas, a playful bark echoed from the hallway. Hope, her tail wagging excitedly, bounded into the nursery, her presence a welcome distraction from the somber atmosphere. Sarah smiled, her heart warming at the sight of the puppy's infectious enthusiasm. "You want to say goodnight to Ethan?" she asked, her voice carrying a hint of amusement. Hope, as if understanding her words, leaped onto the rocking chair beside the crib, her tail wagging furiously, her eyes fixed on Ethan with a loving gaze. Sarah placed Ethan in his crib, his tiny body nestled amongst the soft blankets. "Good night, Ethan," she whispered, her voice filled with a mix of love and longing. "Sweet dreams." She turned to leave, her hand reaching for the light switch, when a gasp escaped her lips. Her eyes widened in disbelief, her heart pounding in her chest. Ethan, his eyes wide open, was rolling over, his tiny arms and legs moving with a coordinated strength she hadn't seen since the accident. He reached for Hope, his fingers grasping her soft fur, his face breaking into a gummy smile. Hope, her tail wagging excitedly, responded with enthusiastic licks and playful nips, her joyful barks echoing through the nursery. Sarah stood frozen, her body trembling, her mind struggling to comprehend the miracle unfolding before her eyes. She rushed to the crib, her tears flowing freely now, her heart overflowing with a mix of joy and disbelief. She scooped Ethan into her arms, his body now wriggling with a newfound life, his laughter filling the room with a sound she had yearned to hear. She hugged him tightly, her sobs mingling with his giggles, her tears a testament to the rekindled hope that had blossomed within her. She looked at Hope, her eyes filled with gratitude and wonder. This playful puppy, this unexpected addition to their family, had brought a spark of light back into their lives, a glimmer of hope that had defied the darkness of their despair. She rushed downstairs, her voice trembling with excitement as she called out to Mark. "Mark, come quickly. You won't believe this." Mark, his face etched with worry, rushed into the nursery, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and anticipation. And then he saw it. Ethan, his eyes sparkling with mischief, was sitting up in his crib, his tiny hands reaching for Hope, his laughter echoing through the house like a forgotten melody. Mark's eyes widened in disbelief, his jaw dropping, his body frozen in a moment of stunned silence. And then, as the reality of what he was witnessing sank in, a sob escaped his lips, his strong shoulders shaking with a mix of relief and overwhelming joy. He rushed to the crib, his tears flowing freely now, his heart overflowing with a love that had been buried beneath layers of guilt and despair. He scooped Ethan into his arms, his strong embrace a testament to the renewed hope that had blossomed within their family. They stood together, their tears mingling with Ethan's laughter, their hearts filled with gratitude and wonder. They looked at Hope, their furry guardian angel, her tail wagging excitedly, her presence a beacon of light in their once darkened world. They knew this was just the beginning, the first step in a long and uncertain journey. But in that moment, as they held their son close, his laughter echoing through their home, they felt a surge of optimism, a belief that perhaps, just perhaps, a miracle was unfolding before their eyes, a miracle sparked by the unconditional love of a playful puppy named Hope. The miracle that unfolded in the Miller household that evening reverberated through their lives like a shockwave, leaving them reeling in a mix of disbelief and overwhelming joy. The silence that had enveloped their home for months was shattered, replaced by the joyful sounds of Ethan's laughter, his newfound mobility a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the extraordinary bond he shared with Hope. The news of Ethan's sudden progress spread like wildfire, first through their close circle of friends and family, then through the wider community. Their phone rang incessantly, their mailbox overflowing with cards and well wishes, their doorstep crowded with visitors eager to witness the miracle for themselves. The Millers, their initial euphoria tempered by a cautious disbelief, shared their story with a mix of excitement and apprehension. They recounted the events of that evening, the disbelief that had gripped them as they witnessed Ethan's movements, the overwhelming joy that had flooded their hearts. They spoke of Hope, their furry guardian angel, her playful presence a constant source of stimulation and encouragement for Ethan. They described her gentle nudges, her playful licks, her unwavering dedication to her young companion. The community responded with a mix of awe and skepticism. Some saw Ethan's progress as a divine intervention, a miracle bestowed upon a deserving family. Others, more grounded in logic and medical science, questioned the validity of their claims, attributing Ethan's progress to a delayed response to therapy or a misdiagnosis of his initial condition. The Millers, caught between the unwavering support of their loved ones and the cautious skepticism of the medical community, sought answers, their hearts filled with a mix of hope and uncertainty. They consulted with Ethan's doctors, their voices trembling with a mix of excitement and apprehension. The doctors, though intrigued by Ethan's sudden progress, remained cautious, their medical training reminding them of the complexities of spinal cord injuries, the unpredictable nature of recovery. They ordered a new round of tests, their scans and examinations searching for a physiological explanation for Ethan's newfound mobility. But the results remained inconclusive, the mystery of his progress deepening, the possibility of a miracle hanging in the air like a fragile whisper. The doctors, unable to explain Ethan's recovery through conventional medical understanding, acknowledged the extraordinary nature of his progress, their voices laced with a hint of wonder and a grudging acceptance of the inexplicable. The Millers, their faith in Hope's role in Ethan's recovery unwavering, embraced the mystery, their hearts filled with gratitude for the playful puppy who had brought light back into their lives. They continued to encourage Hope's interactions with Ethan, their home now a haven of playful barks, joyful giggles, and the quiet hum of hope that resonated through their lives. And as the weeks passed, Ethan's progress continued, his movements growing stronger, his laughter filling the house with a newfound joy. The whispers of disbelief that had once surrounded their story began to fade, replaced by a growing sense of wonder and a recognition of the extraordinary bond between a boy and his dog, a bond that had defied the limitations of medical science and rekindled the flame of hope in their hearts. The story of Ethan's miraculous recovery, fueled by whispers and amplified by the curiosity of the local community, soon caught the attention of the media. Reporters and camera crews descended upon the Miller household, their microphones and lenses eager to capture the heartwarming tale of hope and resilience. The Millers, initially hesitant to share their story with the world, eventually agreed to a series of interviews, their desire to inspire others outweighing their apprehension about the intrusion into their lives. They spoke of Ethan's accident, the despair that had enveloped their family, and the unexpected arrival of Hope, the playful puppy who had brought a spark of light back into their world. They recounted the moments of disbelief and joy as they witnessed Ethan's first movements, his gradual progress a testament to the power of hope and the extraordinary bond he shared with his furry companion. They spoke of Hope's unwavering dedication, her playful encouragement, her intuitive understanding of Ethan's needs. The media, eager for a heartwarming story amidst the often grim news cycle, seized upon the narrative, their reports painting a picture of a miracle unfolding in a small-town American family. Ethan's story captured the hearts of viewers and readers across the country, his resilience and Hope's unwavering loyalty, a beacon of light in a world often overshadowed by darkness. The Millers found themselves thrust into the spotlight, their story shared on national television, their faces gracing the covers of magazines, their voices echoing through radio waves. They received letters and emails from people all over the world, their messages filled with support, admiration, and shared experiences of hope and resilience. But the media attention also brought with it a wave of scrutiny and skepticism. Experts weighed in, offering their opinions on Ethan's recovery, their voices a mix of cautious optimism and scientific skepticism. Some attributed his progress to the power of the human-animal bond, citing studies on the therapeutic benefits of animal companionship. Others remained unconvinced, their skepticism rooted in the limitations of medical science. Their explanations focused on the possibility of misdiagnosis or a delayed response to conventional therapies. The Millers, navigating the complexities of their newfound fame, remained grounded, their focus on Ethan's continued progress and their gratitude for Hope's unwavering presence. They welcomed the support and encouragement, but they also shielded themselves from the negativity and skepticism, their faith in their own experiences unwavering. They continued to share their story, their voices carrying a message of hope and resilience, their experiences a testament to the extraordinary bond between humans and animals, a bond that had defied the limitations of medical science and rekindled the flame of hope in their hearts. As Ethan's story spread, the Millers' home became a pilgrimage site for those seeking hope and inspiration. Families with children facing similar challenges arrived at their doorstep, their eyes filled with a mix of desperation and yearning. They sought answers, guidance, a glimmer of hope in the face of their own struggles. Sarah and Mark, their hearts touched by these families' stories, welcomed them with open arms. They shared their experiences, their voices carrying a message of resilience and the unwavering belief in the power of love and the human-animal bond. They introduced them to Hope, her playful presence a beacon of joy and encouragement. They watched as children, once confined to wheelchairs or hospital beds, interacted with Hope, their faces lighting up with laughter, their spirits lifted by her unconditional love. The Millers, their own journey transformed by Hope's presence, became advocates for the therapeutic benefits of animal companionship. They shared their story at conferences and support groups, their voices reaching a wider audience, their message resonating with those who had witnessed the extraordinary power of the human-animal bond. They collaborated with researchers and therapists, their experiences contributing to a growing body of evidence supporting the positive impact of animals on human health and well-being. They became pioneers in the field of animal-assisted therapy, their story a testament to the transformative power of connection and the resilience of the human spirit. Ethan, now a toddler, continued to thrive, his progress defying the expectations of his doctors. He walked with the aid of a walker, his steps growing stronger with each passing day. He played with Hope in the backyard, their laughter echoing through the neighborhood, their friendship a beacon of joy and inspiration. He attended preschool, his classmates embracing him with open arms, his differences celebrated rather than ostracized. He learned to read and write, his inquisitive mind absorbing knowledge with an eagerness that had been absent in the early days of his paralysis. He became a symbol of hope, his story a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome adversity. He was a living miracle, a testament to the transformative power of love, the resilience of the human-animal bond, and the unwavering belief in the possibility of a brighter future. And Hope, the playful puppy who had brought a spark of light into their lives, remained his constant companion, her love and loyalty unwavering. She was his protector, his confidant, his furry guardian angel, her presence a reminder of the extraordinary journey they had shared, a journey that had defied the limitations of medical science and rekindled the flame of hope in their hearts. Time, once a relentless reminder of Ethan's limitations, now became a testament to his remarkable progress. The years that followed were a symphony of milestones and triumphs, each achievement a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of love and hope. Ethan, his once immobile limbs now strong and agile, embraced life with a zest that defied his early challenges. He ran through the fields with Hope by his side, their laughter echoing through the air, their shared joy a symphony of freedom and resilience. He excelled in school, his inquisitive mind absorbing knowledge with an eagerness that inspired his teachers and classmates. He discovered a passion for science, his curiosity leading him on explorations of the natural world, his experiments filling the Miller household with a mix of excitement and occasional chaos. He developed a close-knit circle of friends, their bond forged through shared laughter, playground adventures, and the unspoken understanding of those who had faced challenges and emerged stronger. He became a leader, his empathy and compassion inspiring those around him, his resilience a beacon of hope for those facing their own battles. He embraced his love for animals, volunteering at the local animal shelter, his gentle touch and compassionate nature a balm to the abandoned creatures. He rescued injured birds, nursed stray kittens back to health, and advocated for the humane treatment of all living beings. He became a symbol of hope for the community, his story a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome adversity. He was invited to speak at local events, his voice, once silent, now carrying a message of resilience, determination, and the unwavering belief in the possibility of a brighter future. And through it all, Hope remained his constant companion, his confidant, his furry guardian angel. She matured into a loyal and devoted dog, her playful puppy energy now tempered by a gentle wisdom and an unwavering dedication to her young friend. She accompanied him on his adventures, her presence a source of comfort and support. She sat by his side as he studied, her quiet companionship a calming influence on his active mind. She shared his triumphs, her tail wagging excitedly as he crossed the finish line of his first race, her joyful barks echoing his own sense of accomplishment. She was his protector, his confidant, his furry soulmate, their bond a testament to the extraordinary power of love and the transformative impact of the human-animal connection. Time, the relentless sculptor of lives, continued its steady march, shaping the Miller's world with a gentle touch. Ethan blossomed into a young man, his childhood challenges fading into the background, replaced by the vibrant tapestry of adolescence. He navigated the complexities of high school with a confidence that belied his early struggles. He excelled academically, his inquisitive mind drawn to the mysteries of science and the intricacies of the human body. He discovered a passion for music, his guitar becoming an extension of his soul, his melodies echoing the emotions that words couldn't express. He embraced his role as a leader, his empathy and compassion guiding his interactions with his peers. He stood up for the underdog, championed the marginalized, and inspired those around him with his quiet strength and unwavering optimism. He nurtured his love for animals, volunteering at the local veterinary clinic, his gentle touch and intuitive understanding a comfort to the creatures under his care. He dreamed of becoming a veterinarian, his desire to heal and protect extending beyond the human realm. And through it all, hope remained his constant companion, her presence a steady anchor in the ever-changing tides of his life. She had aged gracefully, her once vibrant golden fur now streaked with silver, her playful puppy energy replaced by a calm wisdom and an unwavering devotion to her beloved boy. She accompanied him on his daily runs, her pace slower now, but her spirit as youthful as ever. She lay by his side as he strummed his guitar, her head resting on his lap, her soft snores a soothing counterpoint to his melodies. She greeted him with enthusiastic tail wags and gentle nudges, her love a constant reminder of the extraordinary journey they had shared. One crisp autumn evening, as Ethan sat on the porch swing, his guitar resting on his lap, his fingers plucking a melancholic tune, Hope's breathing grew shallow, her aged body finally succumbing to the inevitable passage of time. Ethan, his heart heavy with grief, held her close, his tears falling onto her soft fur, his voice a whisper of love and gratitude. He thanked her for her unwavering loyalty, her playful spirit, her role in his miraculous recovery. He buried her beneath their favorite oak tree in the backyard, a simple headstone marking her resting place, a testament to the extraordinary bond they had shared. He sat by her grave, his guitar in hand, his melodies a tribute to her life, her love, her legacy. The Millers, their hearts united in grief, mourned the loss of their faithful companion, their furry guardian angel. They remembered her playful antics, her unwavering devotion, her role in bringing light back into their lives. They spoke of her with gratitude and admiration, their voices filled with love and a deep appreciation for the extraordinary impact she had had on their family. They knew that Hope's legacy would live on, her spirit forever intertwined with Ethan's journey, her love a beacon of hope in their hearts. And as the years continued to unfold, shaping Ethan's life with new experiences and challenges, he carried with him the lessons he had learned from Hope, the power of unconditional love, the resilience of the human spirit, and the unwavering belief in the possibility of miracles. He faced the world with a confidence and compassion that inspired those around him, his story a testament to the enduring strength of the human-animal bond, a bond that had defied the limitations of medical science and rekindled the flame of hope in their hearts. He lived his life to the fullest, embracing every opportunity, his journey a testament to the transformative power of love, the resilience of the human spirit, and the enduring legacy of a playful puppy named Hope.